Great. Well, thanks, everybody. It's great to see people in real life. I have to say, this is a bit nerve-wracking to, Stu, can we go back to the first slide here? To get up in front of people live, it's been nice to kind of hide behind the scenes of Zoom, one benefit. So as you know, it was a great intro by Edmund and talking a lot about high-impact procurement. And maybe I'm first to follow Edmund's great intro because we're really in the stage of setting the foundation. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to give you a quick overview of our, I'm not sure if my clicker is working, so next slide, please. Give you a quick overview of our company, how we are operating in our purchasing organization. I'm going to talk about then our transformation, what we're really undertaking in our source to purchase process in terms of not just the process itself and efficiency there, but also our experience, and then getting into our work with Arkestro in terms of spend visibility. So I'm going to try my clicker. Great, it's working. All right, show of hands, who has heard of or used AutoCAD software? Okay, I love it. I can tell the audience here, a team of people who know, group of people that know software, know engineering, because then you know that Autodesk, we're a 40-year-old software company, and we grew from our flagship software of AutoCAD to now we have over 100 software products, but all centered around 3D design. So we span the industries of architecture, construction, and film. And fun fact is that our software has been used in the last 20, or won awards in the last 20-some years for the films that have won in special effects. So our customers are doing a lot of cool stuff, and we're really changing the way the world is designed and made. We just ended our fiscal year in January. We achieved $4.4 billion in revenue, and even though we're based in San Francisco, you can see how much we're split in terms of our revenue across the globe. We operate in 46 countries, and we have almost 12,000 employees. And one of the things that our company is really proud about is our role in sustainability. So not just in how we operate, but also in terms of our software. So we're all about enabling our customers to design a sustainable world. And this is one of three of the things that we're passionate about: designing and building a sustainable world. We're passionate about our customers, and we're passionate about innovation. And that is part of the thing that we try to translate then through in the purchasing experience. So I'm going to move into our organization. We are a team of 55 across the globe, and we are organized across 4 different areas. We have our sourcing and contracting. They're responsible also for our data privacy contracting. My organization, which is responsible for our purchasing operations and technology, which includes data analytics. We also have contingent workforce, and we have a responsible sourcing organization, and also tied in with that is automation. And just a quick footnote on that is that our team is responsible for driving automation tool adoption across the finance organization. So really getting out of the manual work, using Excel spreadsheets and things like that. So it's getting built into our DNA, but we're not there yet. But we've introduced things like Power BI, Alteryx, and now most recently Studio X for RPA for the non-developer. So hoping to transform our finance organization. But back to our focus on purchasing and helping people buy goods and services. You can see our numbers across the bottom, but what I want to highlight is that we purchase, as a software company, we are buying a lot of people-based services. In fact, our contingent workforce is our biggest spend across the company. And then we also are buying a lot of enterprise software and also software to support our product delivery. So we are more of an indirect focused company in terms of the sourcing spend that we focus on. We have a lot of suppliers. I think it's Edmund who talked about, if you just allow choice, which we do. We have allowed choice till now. You can choose your supplier, and this is a problem for us. Then we also have a high volume of purchase orders, and a lot of those are catalog, but we have a lot of purchase orders that we're supporting. So this gives you kind of an overview of the organization, some numbers, workload, but how does this translate into efficiency? And more importantly, how does this translate into the experience for our employees who are really trying to buy things to enable their work and delivering these exceptional products to our customers? Sadly, this is the reality of our customer journey. They, and our customers being our employees who are trying to buy things, they are starting with our intake process, and it is a maze. They do not know how to get out. So I share this because it's really important to tell the story of our journey in our team right now and what we're really focused on. We have to eliminate the long cycle times in this process for getting through and getting to an actual purchase. So we have two key things that we've been working on, that we are working on this year. The first is to simplify our support model for the purchase to pay process, because while we have this maze, we have to match that customer experience, that passion for the customer that our company has. And then the second thing is building this foundation in our roadmap for our source to purchase process. So we are making some improvements in helping people through the maze. So I just want to share a couple things we've done. We have a web-based tool or hub branded Supplier Central. We built it in ServiceNow. And what we did recently is we really focused on what are people really needing to buy. And so we have elevated these things that people really need. Most people are coming, the most searches we get are on how to buy a laptop, how to get the computer accessories they need. And so what we implemented were some interactive guides here, because the challenge across the 46 countries is people don't really know, where to go. They can't necessarily go to a catalog. So we cut through that. The other thing is that maze, and how do you get through the process? And a lot of people need to go through a compliance check. And so what we've implemented is then this user-friendly status check on, hey, here are the things, these are the compliance reviews that are happening, these are the teams that are engaged in them. And so now people can find their way a bit better through the maze, or at least know what's happening. But we have a lot of work to do. So I talked about some of the quick purchase interactive guides, getting to a catalog order or something like that. But really, we have a lot of steps in the process, and this PowerPoint makes it look really simple. But what we found is that in our compliance process, as an example, that it takes a median of 41 days to get to a security review, and a median of 45 days to get through a compliance review. And this is most stringent if you've got a new supplier. And so back to the point of what Arkestro is building on, there's really a need for us to try to help people find the right suppliers. 95% of the people who come in to this intake process already have a supplier. So we have a lot of work to do to streamline this process, offer more choice up front. The other key thing is that at the end of this whole process is a disconnected Ariba purchase request process. And so people have to go in there to get their approvals, and that's after they put in all their information up front into the intake process. So this is our maze, this is our broken process, and what we're really focused on fixing. So how are we going to do that? We are focused on really developing a comprehensive strategy around this, and it obviously multi-year as well. So the first thing we're doing is, aside from short-term looking at the processes that are broken, we're really digging into the processes that are taking the 41 days, 45 days. That's just not sustainable when we're a company of growth, and that just doesn't work for our business needs. They need to be getting back on to their work. So we are fixing those processes now, but then we're also looking at what should that user path be, right? And building more intelligence into that process. We're also going to be looking at then the technology. So the technology means everything, foundational, and then also the functional. And so that means how do we, as we will have different systems, how do they connect? How do we have that underlying data lake? What are the integration layers? What can we automate along the way? So there are a lot of elements to that. And then also we're addressing changes to the organization. And I'm most excited about this as we continue our journey and enable our team to be doing more meaningful work. So while we're working on this bigger strategy, the work for the sourcing team, I mean, that doesn't stop. And that brings us to the work we have been doing with Arkestro. One of the big challenges that we have had for our sourcing organization is having a comprehensive spend view. This used to be easy when we had mostly our spend through PO based, because we require a PO for a supplier to get paid, so it makes it pretty easy. But we have really grown our card spend, and we buy enterprise-wide software, sometimes on our card or events, and so you're just lacking that complete visibility to a category. So when we brought and started working with Arkestro, they were able to do the simple transformation for our AP spend, but then also help us with our card spend, which was always really hard. They were able to build some intelligence using machine learning based on some parameters that we gave, like this supplier usually is this way, or this card holder, this spend should be in this direction. And then, oh, if we don't have clear mapping, why don't you look at the merchant name, what do they do, and map that way. So this is a journey we're on with them, but really already we have now one place where we can look at our sourcing category spend. So there are a lot of benefits for this, and I'm just highlighting a few here, because it may seem a little backwards to be looking at our historical spend when we're really changing all the time in terms of what we're buying. But we really need this foundation in order to move forward. One of the key things with what Arkestro has done is that we're getting away from all this manual work that the team used to do. We used to have to marry up the spend offline in an Excel worksheet and organize things around addressable spend. That was really time consuming. But now, through these, using the automation and machine learning, that is an easier process. And then the sourcing managers can see visually. So there's a lot to be said for the data visualization, and they can hone in on what are the categories that I should be focusing on. Wow, look at that spike in spend here. That was a trend, new trend, and then they can tell more easily where to focus on. And then, similar to my past comment of the organization, I mean, this just provides us with more opportunity to add more value. And we can develop supplier recommendations based on what we've been doing in the past. And if we can cut through and recommend suppliers to employees, this is just a huge win for the employee to start working with a supplier that's already vetted immediately. And the other thing is, if we can also then recommend a diverse supplier, then it's just win-win for everybody. The employees are able to get away from the administrative work and get back to the core of what they do. Our team can be working on more meaningful work, and then also we can be making an impact in our sustainable purchasing. So we are really on the same journey right now as our Autodesk customers. We have to get people out of the maze so that we can really be more effective as a company. We are on this digitization journey, and we're working on connecting our purchasing ecosystem so that we can continue to evolve, optimize, and really deliver more value here in purchasing. And I'm really excited to learn more about what Arkestro is offering and see how they can help us along that journey. Thank you.